Greetings, fellow Space Marines. This is Mr. Alan D1, and for the Doom community, this is Alondo1. In today's video, this is the end of the year vlog. And in this little video, I'll be talking about some channel updates, and of course, going over how this year has been. And if you noticed in the introduction, yeah. So, without further ado, let's begin. Let's do it! So to start off, there's some good, bad, and ugly. So I'll tell you the good things that happened this year. There are some good things. Well, let's get to the really good stuff, which would be the Toby accessibility mod making its way into a retro gaming magazine, Reload. And that was really the highlight of this entire year, particularly. And also the release of the second Toby Map Pack Deluxe. Of course, with the 4th and 5th map pack, then putting those two together to make the second Deluxe map pack. You know what it is. But if I were to say what other positive things that happened, I guess I could say that, this past summer, back in June, I went on my very first official date. Although the date was not necessarily the best in the world, unfortunately, but hey, at least it's experience, And it was my very first official date in my entire life, so at least that's some good news. One of the other good things that happened this year was the release of my 4th novel, The Adventures of the PPA, The Genesis Cube. So, the bad and the ugly now. I'm going to try and make a long story short with this. Now, of course, at the beginning of the year we had Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has been nerve-wracking for everybody. Since one of my programmers, Predoa, is from Ukraine, and I've been worried about him ever since. And fortunately, he is hanging in there. He's pushing through all the chaos and whatnot, and honestly, I just continuously pray for his safety, along with the rest of the Ukrainian people, And then, of course, later in the year, quite recently, at the end of November, starting on the 26th, which was a Saturday, I got devastating news from a very good friend of mine that his mother had passed away, and that was very devastating. And literally a week after that, a coworker at my office also passed away. And just 2 weeks after that, and it was on a Monday, so this is around the middle of December right now, 2 good friends of mine, their grandmothers passed away. Same day, same age, and both afflicted with dementia. What are the odds? I mean, it's crazy. 4 bereavements in a matter of weeks, So it's been a hard end of the year for me, but I'm getting through it. Now on to something a little bit more hopeful and more positive. So I want to talk about the future of my channel. Now, as all of you know, I do Doom-related content and a little bit of retro gaming, particularly whenever I go to the Retro Gaming Expo. But what I want to do is I want to experiment a little bit in maybe doing some game reviews, particularly retro games in particular, and doing some live streams. Of course, I'm going to try and do live streaming on YouTube, but if push comes to shove, I'll do Twitch. But it's something which I want to just get my toes wet a little bit in, But we'll have to see. I'm asking some friends on how to go about the streaming and all that. So, yeah. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are some of the projects that I'm currently working on or are thinking of working on. So, as all of you know, the Toby accessibility mod, we're always doing updates with that. We're always working on it. So, the Toby accessibility mod, we're hoping to get version 6.0 out in 2023. We don't know when, but we'll just have to see how everything goes. But definitely expect more features to come, as well as optimized features that currently exist. And then, as you saw fairly recently, that I've been putting videos out for my gameplay mod for Doom called the Alpha Division. And I hope to release that very soon, and maybe January, maybe February. I'm still doing some final tweaks with it, but we'll have to see. But it's coming along pretty well, though, nonetheless. And then, the other thing I am looking forward to do to try and see if there is something there, and I have a link to it in the description below. Now, as all of you know, I've done the Doom Tribute Project, right? So, I remember a long time ago, one of my buddies, Jeff, put a comment under the video in the Doom Tribute Project saying that someone should do a Heretic Tribute Project. And I was thinking, you know what? Let's see what I can do with that. So I put together a little demo for download. There's only 2 levels right now, so it's the docks and the dungeon. And what it is just a reinterpretation of those levels. So keep in mind that what you see in there is subject to change, and I would like to hear some feedback, so if any of you do have any feedback, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. But this is something which I was thinking about, and figured, let me give it a shot, because I've never made a real heretic level before. Of course it's pretty much the same concept as making a Doom level, but with heretic resources. I'm so used to saying heretic instead of heretic. Bear with me. But anyway, also speaking of heretic, after my buddies and I are done working on the Toby accessibility mod, we're going to have compatibility for Heretic and Hexen as well. So I'm going to be making Heretic levels for the blind after we're done with the Doom stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So I want to leave you guys on a positive note, okay? Because I've been through a lot in my life, a lot of difficult moments in my life. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, that I had to deal with 4 bereavements, 4 deaths, all within a matter of 4 weeks. Crazy, right? But tragedies are not new to me. In fact, I've faced it multiple times, and it's been uncomfortable every time, but I just go through the motions, and I just try to move on. That's really all one can do. The thing is, I know a lot of people feel pessimistic about the future and all that, but the thing is, though, is that you don't have to be pessimistic about it, because the thing is that you can make the world a better place. It is very possible to do that. It's just that people have to choose to be a better person. They need to choose to do the right thing. That's really what it is. You can choose to love, or you can choose to hate. You can choose to make things better, or you can choose to make things worse, or not to do anything at all, I mean, everything is a choice, and as you guys know, especially for those who have played through Temple of Lizman 5, that everything in that WAD was about the power of choice, and what choices you make do make an impact on your overall experience and how you get through the game, And just like in real life, how you go about living your life, the choices you make and what you do and how you do them make a big difference. Even though it may not seem much, but consider this, how you treat other people. If you go about treating people with kindness and you are respectful and just really be a good person, you have a more positive outcome and a more positive outlook as well, Whereas if you do the exact opposite, if you wind up treating people like crap, and you're really nasty to people, what else do you expect to get in return? People are going to look at you and hate your guts, or they're going to whack you in the face, So, if you ever really want to make the world a better place, all you have to do is choose to be a better person, and choose to be choose to do good, I mean, if you want to improve the world around you, you have to first improve yourself as a person. You know, I mean, for someone like myself who has had a life of abuse, tragedy, and had to deal with mental health related issues such as depression and anxiety, the best way to get through it all is you have to be willing enough to improve. It's easier said than done, I know. But all it takes is that first step to start doing good. I mean, life is short, you know? With the time we have, we should be doing good. I mean, it's not hard to be a good person. It's not hard to do good in the world. I mean, the thing is, it's hard to do large things. But keep in mind that when you start being a good person, start treating people better. And of course, that positivity does spread like wildfire, you know? It brightens people's lives. And believe me, folks, one of the things I love to do the most is help people. I really am driven to help people, and especially fairly recently, I just donated to 5 charities. I donated to Tunnels to Towers. I highly recommend donating to them. Frank Siller is an amazing guy, and definitely support him and his foundation. Awesome dude. Also, Wounded Warrior Project, supporting wounded veterans. Also the ASPCA, St. Jude, and also the American Red Cross. Any little bit of good helps, you know, and that's really what's important, you know. And it shouldn't be done just around the holidays. It should be done really all year round, essentially, you know. But I mean, that's all one can do, and for someone like myself, I want to make the world a better place, you know, in some way. But it all starts by just being a good person and just helping those who are closest to you, even if they're just random strangers, you know. I mean, being good does go a long way, and even though there's some people who think that being good is being weak, that's not the case. I mean, if you're a doormat, then yes, that's weakness. That's not being genuine, you know. But if you are a genuine good person, as in if you're naturally a good person, great. Keep being that good person, you know. And that's all you gotta do. I mean, what else is there to say? So that's pretty much it, folks. That is it for the end of the year video. I hope all of you enjoyed it in some way, and of course I hope some of my words of wisdom gave you a little bit of optimism, a little bit of positivity, and give you motivation, inspiration to live your best life to the best that you can, you know. So, as you know how my outros go, folks. If you're watching this during the day, I wish all of you a good day. If you're watching this during the evening, I wish all of you a good evening. I wish all of you a happy new year, a happy, healthy new year. God willing, the new year is going to be a little bit better, hopefully. But whatever the case, stay true, stay strong, keep being your awesome selves. I thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video and in the next year. Take care.